tag match. And by the way, in full disclosure, that was a concept that Delirious had under Johnston in Ring of Honor in 2000, what would have been, 2010 or 11, thereabouts, where the singles champions and the tag team champions took on their, as I remember it, if this is correct, their number one challengers or the people that they were having programs with in an 8-man tag for a television match on HDNet, unfortunately. That's why nobody remembers it. But that, okay, to build to something like that and do interviews where, yes, it's a historic match. We're going to have the champions team up against these top challengers in an 8-man tag match, and holy shit. They just decided, okay, here it comes. Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Kyle Felcher, and Takeshita against Ricochet, Ospreay, Hobbs, poor Hobbs, and Mark Davis. How is it an all-star? Mark Davis has not wrestled anywhere for a year, apparently, and still I'm trying to figure out what injury that he got over in 14 months besides having both of his legs replaced. What the fuck did he do to himself? But he's had 2 matches in AEW so far, and he's in an all-star. It's just multiple people out there to satisfy Tony's fetish for writing a bunch of names down and thinking, oh, wow. And instead, he's nullifying everybody. And you got Ricochet, who was not only, I'm sure, very highly priced, but was a big deal when he came in until, A, I think we've seen it, and nothing's revolutionary, and B, he has the personality of cabbage. And he argues with fans on Twitter. Not even snappy comebacks and then a block, but a back and forth. Like, well, no, you don't know what you're talking about. No, the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. That's why he has 12 followers, fucking moron.
And every time you can tell Ricochet's like hurt.
Well, yeah, because look at all this shit he's doing. But the point is, he, again, comes in as one of the major single stars in the company, and now he's in an all-star 8-man with Mark Davis, his partner, who looks like a 50-year-old UPS driver, and has had 2 matches in this company, and they expect that people to remember this bond, Brian, the brotherhood that he and Kyle Felcher had in another company, in another country several years ago. But it still burns in both men's groinal area. I don't know. But no, Davis looks like piss on a plate. And nobody gives a shit. And then Brian Cage, just give up. Jesus Christ, in 5 years. He's just there. He doesn't go away long enough to miss him, but he's not back long enough to make him.
Well, he's now a champion. Now he's the, what did they say, Ring of Honor TV champion, I believe.
No, and
he grew his hair out, so it's a new look.
Oh, and blow me again. And then Lance Archer. Again, the time is, if he went away long enough that they would forget he's out there with Jake, he's not with Jake. He beats up random production people and throws them down the ramp. He's on and off the television show. He's beaten in minutes, and then sometimes he beats the shit out of the guy that's about to go for the world title. It just, give it a fucking rest. And somebody focus on this guy in a year or whatever. Maybe we can forget the bad relationship. And speaking of the phrase lost in the shuffle, which I was about to, Hobbs on one side, Takeshita on the other side. They could have paid our boy Take the money that they've paid Okodi and Ishii, and fucking, not to mention, what was his name?
Ibushi. I know you're talking about Ibushi, yeah.
Ibushi, they signed him to fucking have both of his feet amputated.
Well, they would have never
They've never seen him again, and Tony's paying him so he can fucking sit there at home with no feet.
He didn't have his feet amputated. We heard that we saw video, he broke both of his ankles.
Yes, well,
I hate to laugh about it.
The way it looked, you might as well have taken him off and put him back on.
He broke both of his ankles, and then we heard recently, maybe 4 months ago or so that he was making a comeback, but I don't know where it is.
Okay, the point is, him, Ishii, Okodi, and 3 other Japanese people that I can't even remember what their fucking names are. They could have taken all that money and paid it to Takeshita and put him on TV every week and got him over, and he'd been worth more. But now he's in the All-Star 8-man tag. And not to mention Hobbs. Who they had? They had him off for so long. He was legitimately hurt. They couldn't control it. They bring him back. What is the difference right now, Brian, between Powerhouse Hobbs and Bronson Reed?
Well, the difference is the push.
Exactly. And the difference is one's a star and one's in the All-Star 8-man tag. Bronson Reed is a monster. Hobbs has more potential, to be quite honest with you, because, and I don't want to, knock on wood, I'm not trying to curse anybody, but as heavy as Reed is and the stuff he's doing, he needs a high-paying job early in his life like right now because his joints are not going to do well. And I'm still not convinced that he's ever going to be a fireball promo, but fucking Hobbs, I think could be both for longer, etc. He's got a ton of potential, but he's stuck in this fucking quagmire. And they've made Bronson Reed a star doing simple things impressively because he's a big man and he can. And here's Hobbs can do even more things, and he's not doing anything. And Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. Felcher needs to be a cocky young heel in a territory for about a year, and he might be ready for this spot. But right now, it's god damn.
Should he have cut his hair?
Not really. No, because at least the fucking the douchebaggy type of blonde haircut that he had before at least could get him some douchebaggy heat. Because that's, but now he's just, as I say, he looks like a fucking skinhead from Wales or something. And
he's Australian, by the way.
Well, New South
Aussie! Remember?
New South Wales, there you go. But I mean, so now he had something that made him stand out, and now he's getting But and they dress him like a video game. What the fuck is he? Is he? So
they dress
the
him
point
like a video
is,
game.
everybody. He had another one of the fucking things on like they dress in the badass video game when he came out. Did he not?
Yeah, I didn't even notice, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Well, you didn't have time to notice because the baby faces jumped out of the ring and ran to the entranceway and met the heels in the entranceway, then had a big 8-way all over the arena, and just again chaos everywhere without anything looking particularly great, and then take a shit and Davis get in the ring and grab a headlock and the referee rings the bell. And again, it's a quagmire of talent with no good direction for all this shit besides his meaningless little inside angles that Tony finds in his mind and what's going on in Ring of Honor. And they did a deal with Hobbs. They hurt Hobbs's leg. Again, they do things they've seen in old angles without any idea of the context or the application or what you're doing to bury it or not. They thought it'd be cool if they hurt Hobbs's leg that he was out with an injury, still wearing a brace, so he has to be taken out of the match so he can limp back in and get a hot tag. And then he didn't win the fucking match.
Dangerous of animals. What you did, I'd hold
they took him out, and he limped back and tagged in and made a good comeback on all the heels while selling his leg. He had some fucking fire to him. He looks like $1 million. Goddamn, sell his contract to me. I'll make some goddamn money with him. Anyway, he does all this shit, and he turns around and tags Davis in, and the people were like, ugh, and it went to shit. And there's another lost opportunity. If you were going to get something out of this, he could have come in and been a badass, right? Out of it, he should have booked the match to begin with. But if you're going to, he could have done that. But then everybody hid and watched Davis do same kind of Japanese shit with Takeshita. And then Davis and Felcher had to fight, if you can call it that. And then everybody came in at random. And Ospreay and Felcher could do some video game bullshit. And then Ospreay, to make it even worse, Ospreay, the probably still most over babyface on the team, he fucks up when the heel moves and knocks out fucking Davis. And then that's so Kyle can stop Ospreay and can knee lift Davis and just beat him in a flat 1, 2, 3.
Hello, Moto.
And so, yes, it's nice that Tate got a win, and it's nice that Davis did a job. It didn't really do anything for Tank. It might have for Hobbs. If you wanted the heels to go over, for fuck's sake, I don't know why put Hobbs. Help me.
There's no help. I mean, you say that the wrestlers need direction. They do. The problem is the person at the top needs direction. That's the problem. This show, the formatting, the booking, the results of the match once they happen, it's all a train wreck. And again, it leads to the crowd taking on the personality of Orange Cassidy and just sitting there. Nothing phases them. They don't care. I mean, it was an 8-man match. Did anyone care about this after the fact?
No. And it's 23 minutes into the show before it was over with. And you had to...
Especially considering how they jammed so much all over the place shit at the end of the show. I don't know, man. I guess if this was any place other than the start, though, it would have hemorrhaged viewers. Just because.
Well, but I mean, that's the thing is that there is no complete show. There are segments within the show. One, again, is the Reservoir Dogs homage. Another is a lighthearted comedy segment. Another one is where they all act like they're in a video game. And, so the whole is not cohesive. But meanwhile, back to the hole that they're digging.